As we told you at the top of the hour, Mobile Mayor Sandy Stimpson walked out of a city council meeting earlier today.
He's holding a news conference that's starting right now. Let's check in with Steve Alexander.
We have a choice to make in this city.
Well, the mayor is just starting right now. I'm going to let him go and go right up to him.
We can all do well in Mobile, all of us. We need to recognize that the vast majority of Mobilians, whether Asian, black, Hispanic, or white, you want the same thing. You want city government to be effective. You want confidence in the institutions that were created to protect you and serve your basic needs. You want less noise and more action. You want solutions, not excuses. We do not need division in Mobile. We do not need crime, blight, or litter. We do not need to underserve our children and our communities any longer. We need love, wisdom, compassion, and unity. We need a collective embrace on the streets of our city, fixing our community so that every pocket of the city is proud of the neighborhood and that together we herald the greatness of Mobile. Today, I recommit to the citizens of Mobile that I will lead you with the moral courage, fighting for each person on each street in each neighborhood. I remain convinced that by working together, my administration and the City Council can achieve more for Mobile than all administrations and previous city councils put together. Let us move beyond the political banner. Let us recognize the bright future that we all share in. Let us focus on what the people expect us to focus on, tearing down buildings like the one behind me and bringing value, safety, and pride back into our communities. We have the moral and the statutory obligation to provide top-tier services and to eliminate red tape. Tomorrow is a new day in Mobile, and it will be a brighter day, and I look forward to serving the citizens in the same manner and fashion as we did when we were elected. Thank you very much.
Mayor, is the City Council's decision, are they divided on race?
I do not think so, no.
How do you heal the division?
Well, I think that we go about the business of the city. I will call together, the various councils to the degree that I can, without it being, an illegal meeting, and we'll have discussions about how do we go forward.
Fred Richardson said he was willing to meet with you.
Yes.
Are you willing to meet with him?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you think there will ever be a one Mobile?
Absolutely. No doubt.
Who's causing the division?
Well, you never know who's causing the division or what their motive is. But obviously there are people who are not interested in there being unity. But, that comes back to the leadership of those that were elected to provide it. And so that's what we'll do.
Are you referring to specific council members?
Pardon?
Are you referring to specific council
No, I'm referring to just the elected officials as a group.
Who was your major disappointment today when you stormed out?
Well, I was disappointed in just the process. I say disappointed. I was frustrated, watching what was going on. And I think that the citizens have to be frustrated watching, the process. So
tomorrow morning, are you going to call them, or call one of them, or two of them, or whatever, and the call?
I'll pray about that tonight, and we'll decide who's going to be called tomorrow and how we'll, approach it, depending on their schedules and mine.
Mayor, saying that we're going to move forward together is one thing, but these guys kind of seem like they're not budging at all on some of these issues. I mean, they're voting down basic stuff. I've never really seen that before. I mean, where do you go from here? Because it's just almost like a simple fix.
Well, Alan, my comment to that is that people's, maybe their hearts are hardened, but that changes. That changes with different things. I mean, whether it's the citizens that elected them, tell them to let's get with the program, let's forget, what has transpired, and let's move on. So we're all subject to that. And so, I don't think this is, obviously it's a hurdle, but we'll cross this hurdle.
So folks who say walking out on a council meeting is not the solution, what would you say to them?
I don't think it's the solution either, but I don't need to sit there with what was going on today and be wasting the time of the mayor's staff when we could be attending to something like trying to figure out the program that's going to tear buildings like this down to reclaim our neighborhood. I mean, every single day that goes by that we're tied up doing things that aren't making the city better, is a day wasted. And so, so to sit there and tie up the resources of the mayor's staff to do that is a waste of time.
Last
week we had an appointment that was shut down. This week we had 2 appointments. But what made this week different for you that caused you to walk out?
Well, today was the first time that it was involving, I would call the business of the city, addressing a problem in a neighborhood that affected our citizens. The rest of it, was political appointments. That's been a problem across this nation. I mean, Supreme Court appointments. Political appointments have always been, political nominations have always been a problem. And so it was only when they started, got across the line, when they started affecting the services of the citizens, that I'd had enough.
What's your opinion on Sam Jones?
I think that Sam served the city honorably.
Do you think that there's a divide there with the old way things are done and the new way your new administration? Is there a complete divide there?
Well, I hear what your question is to me about what do I think. I'm not so sure it's so much about what do I think, because I'm looking forward, and I think that the people that want to live in the past, I don't know how to help them, other than to say this is where we're going forward. We want you, we need you to help us go forward.
I know it's not necessarily your vote, but would you be opposed to Sam Jones serving on the Sewage and Water Board?
Well, when you ask me that question, then I start getting down into the city council's business. Okay, and right now at this stage, I think they need to resolve that, and not me. I mean, I can't resolve it. I can help, I can counsel them, I can discuss it with them, but instead of me staking out my claim right now, because when I stake out a claim, then there are going to be people going this way or that way, and I'd rather be the person that brings them together.
Why do you say it's not about race? Because, when you look at the way some of these guys are voting, it seems to be clear, and then when you listen to what some of the constituents are saying, they're siding with their council members of their race. It seems like there is a race problem, at least on that council right now.
Well, Alan, maybe I'm being a little Pollyannish about it. I would like to think that that would not be the deciding factor in anybody's mind on making decisions. So I would give them the benefit of the doubt, that it's something else besides race. But so I don't know whether it's the race that, or something that's in their mind that caused them to do, and that it's racism. I can't speak for them.
Why did you choose this location for your
Because this is indicative of the problems that we've got in this community that we need to be addressing. This is you say, the poster of things that we need to be working on. Eliminating blight, addressing the little problems, addressing jobs. So that's why we chose this.
Why didn't you address the media directly after the council meeting and then, waiting till now?
Well, your question about why didn't I address you immediately after, I think that any time that you have the feelings and emotions that I had at that moment, it's best to go off and think about it. And so that's what I did.
Angry, frustrated? How would you say you
I would say frustrated. We get up every morning early. We work late at night. I think that's what the citizens expect, and we don't mind doing that. But to be involved in the political banner where it is slowing down the progress of the city, that's frustrating.
Will there be future incidences of walkout if situations like this really happen?
You asked me, could there be future situations where the mayor would walk out? I don't want to say that there's not going to be, because then I put myself in a box. Yeah, there could be a situation where I walk out of a city council meeting.
Have you talked to any of the council members today about what happened?
I talked to President Gregory.
What did she say? What was her reaction?
Well, she was a bit surprised that I walked out. But I told her the reason I walked out was because all of a sudden they had crossed the line and they had started impacting, what we were trying to do for the citizens.
So bottom line, moving forward here, you're going to meet all the council members?
We're going to have to ask that one again since the plane's gone.
So bottom line, moving forward from here, you're going to meet with all of the council members? What's going to take place?
Yes, going forward from here, I can't tell you specifically that I'm going to meet with them in this order, but I'll be meeting with all of them. Yes.
Mayor, did you have kind of this walkout idea pre-planned? It looked like everybody got up at the same time and walked out, or did you look down the table and say everybody was leaving? How did it all go about?
When they voted
and turned down us putting up street signs, the signage in the neighborhood. I turned to the chief of staff and I said, I'm leaving. And with that, I got up and walked out. And I don't know what the sequence was afterwards, but I had told them to do, there was no prearranged anything. It was a spontaneous reaction. And I think that they felt like, well, if the mayor has left, maybe we should leave too.
Now, is the process more difficult than you envisioned when you took office?
Alan, it is more difficult than what I envisioned taking office, yes.
Should it be this difficult?
No, it should not be this difficult. Yeah, you know, it should not be. Okay. That's it?
Real quick, the neighborhood signage, can you go over what exactly we did miss, what that neighborhood missed out on today with that transferring of funds?
I know we were trying to transfer $1,800 from one account to another account so that we could buy these the posts, signposts, decorative signposts. But it doesn't matter whether it was to tear this building down or something, but it was something for the citizens that we denied, that we held up the process. Yeah. And you're saying because of politics, not because necessarily there was reasons why or concerns? Oh, it was pure politics. Maybe if it wasn't, let's say there was concern about the budget or something like that, you wouldn't walk out on that situation, would you? Or? No. No.
If Sam Jones had been appointed previously, do you think that this would have ever happened?
Well, again, you asked me to forecast either the past or the future and reflect on that. You know, I doubt that it would have happened. Yeah. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Mobile Mayor Sandy Stimpson there. First, we want to apologize. We had entertainment block coming up, but we wanted to show you this in full. Stimpson calling it a day wasted. He's disappointed and frustrated.
Yeah, he talked about division in the city council and how it's getting in the way of city services. We'll have much more on this story for you on Fox 10 News at 5 and 9 o'clock. We'll be right back. We continue to follow a developing story we talked about just moments ago on Fox 10 News at 4.
That's right. Mobile Mayor Sandy Stimpson walked out of a city council meeting today. Fox 10 News reporter Steve Alexander standing by live with the latest on this. Steve?
And we are in the area of Lincoln Street, where an abandoned building is right behind me. And the mayor says he chose this spot to have a news conference, which we'll get to in just a moment, to talk a little bit about some of the issues that he thinks the city needs to be looking at. Now, the meeting this morning, the city council meeting that the mayor walked out of, was contentious in his own words. He walked out after 2 appointments to city boards by council member John Williams and a proposal to buy and install decorative street signposts by Gina Gregory. Both failed. They failed after council members Fred Richardson, Levon Manzi, and C.J. Small abstained from voting. After the meeting, council member Fred Richardson said when his nomination of Mayor Sam Jones to the Sewerage and Water Board was denied by 5 votes at the council meeting last week, he wanted everybody to remember that, no one said anything. And he was asked what he thinks can be done to resolve this situation.
4 people going against my nomination last week. Did nobody said there was going to be no collusion, nothing. Fred Richardson abstained, the whole city coming apart. No, one Mobile, brother. Everybody is going to have to be treated the same. One Mobile. If we always do what we always did, we'll always get what we always got. If I sit here and not do absolutely nothing, I can expect my ditches not to be closed, my street not to be resurfaced. So let's not even resurface Fred's street. Well, Fred just going to sit up there. He's so nice. No, the day has come and gone.
Happened in this morning's city council meeting. Now let me explain what went on.
And the mayor said that he does plan to meet with the city council people involved, C.J. Small, Fred Richardson, also Levon Manzi. He's going to have to do this separately or some way that doesn't violate the sunshine law, certainly, because when you have a bunch of city council members, he says he hopes to begin that process very soon. He said he was going to pray about it tonight. And as far as the soundbite, here is what he had to say in his interview talking about the role of race.
I would like to think that that would not be the deciding factor in anybody's mind on making decisions. So I would give them the benefit of the doubt, you know, that it's something else besides race. But so I don't know whether it's the race that, you know, or something that's in their mind that causes them to do, and that it's racism. I can't speak for them.
About the citizens in her district get some new signs
And again, he says that the mayor says that he does plan on talking to the city council people and doesn't promise ruling out walking out again. He just said that he was frustrated more so than angry, and said that there's still a possibility that he hopes it doesn't walk out again and doesn't happen again. But now is the time to try to come together. And of course, it'll be very interesting to hear what Fred Richardson and the other two council members say about what they heard today at the mayor's news conference here on Lincoln Street, in front of a dilapidated apartment building that he says shows what needs to be done to bring one Mobile together. Reporting live from Mobile, Steve Alexander, Fox 10 News.
All right, Steve, I understand that Fred Richardson asked the mayor to man up. Is that right? Did you hear that?
Say that one more time. The mayor, Fred Richardson, asked the mayor about what?
To man up. Did you hear that?
I did not particularly hear that part. If he did, I don't remember it. He said a number of things in the news conference, and he may have said that in a different venue, but I do not remember him saying that.
Hey, Steve, real quick, you know, we hear a lot one Mobile, but Fred Richardson talking about a division. The mayor clearly stated that several times, the division on city council. How will the mayor move forward to bring the council together if there's going to be work done?
Well, he does say, for one thing, he wants to pray about his next move tonight. And he also said that he does intend to speak to all the council people involved. As a matter of fact, you might have heard during the news conference, he said he already talked to Gina Gregory, the council president, and she said that she was surprised that he walked out, but that he does want to reach out again to the people and try to bring everybody in a common goal. And again, he didn't set a timetable or saying, I'm going to talk to Councilman Small tomorrow and I'm going to talk to Councilman Richardson the next day. But he did say that it is his intentions within the next few days. And of course, political intrigue in Mobile, this is something that everybody is going to be watching to see exactly what the next step is.
All right, thank you, Steve.